I'm just trying to keep everybody asleep. Wake up, everybody. It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother, John.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. See That.
See that?
And we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to help us to redefine what's cool.
That's real now.
Edmund, what's good, man?
Oh, man, it is good in the hood, my brother.
Is it?
I mean,
Is it?
I mean, it's all on your perspective, all on your mindset.
True.
Yeah, what do you say on your mindset?
I like the hat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you like my hat?
I like your hat. Yeah.
People be asking, do I work for the city? No, we own the city.
We own the city. We are the
The
city.
city is us.
Yeah, we are the city. We are St. Pete.
We are.
We are St. Pete, man. No, that's what's up. I want to congratulate everybody that's doing something positive, man, and just being good neighbors. There's a lot of people doing a lot of positive things.
I like that, right? The good neighbor thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Because it ain't a lot of people who consider themselves good neighbors, but some people are really good neighbors.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They really, come through for their neighbor if the neighbor need them.
Right.
And they don't call themselves good neighbors, though.
No.
They usually don't.
Yeah, most good neighbors just do it. Just do it. Like they're not saying, okay, yeah, I'm
like they work for Nike.
Right? Just do it.
Like the Nike swoosh on their head.
Right. but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create this intentional movement, where you intentionally be
a good
neighbor.
Yeah.
And also intentionally recognize when somebody been good to you. That's the other part of it. So when we started off the town hall with that question.
I know, I was there. I was in attendance.
When were you a good neighbor? And then when was somebody a good neighbor?
That's a thinking. That's a thinking thing, right?
Yeah.
When was I a good neighbor?
Yeah.
Okay, then when was a neighbor good to me?
Yeah.
That's a vibe.
But it actually kind of opens us up to see what's possible.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my good neighbor moment, and maybe if you're listening, you can call in or you can leave a comment about your good neighbor experience, whether you're a good neighbor or you've been a good neighbor or you know some good neighbors.
That's right.
Right. So good neighbor. This one go back when I was a child. Good neighbor, Miss Lois.
Okay.
Miss Lois Lemon. Right. So I grew up next to the Lemons, right?
Yeah.
And Christmas came, right? One of the Christmas came, we ain't had nothing.
Okay.
I went over to my homeboy's house, Christmas, baby, what you got? You ain't getting nothing. What?
Yeah, nothing.
Gave me gifts and toys for my little brothers, for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got my little gifts. Oh, here go, brother. My homeboys kicking in for the gifts. It was love. Those were good neighbors, man. They did something good. That was amazing. God bless her soul.
That is amazing, man.
Yeah.
It is amazing when you receive it like that. My neighbors, man, I got good neighbors. Miss Bev and Deidre, man. Like this
current good neighbors.
Current good neighbors. Yeah, good neighbors in present time, man. And so they go to like pantry and they get different stuff and they just make sure that we got stuff. So
make
sure we good. So when they go, they don't just go for themselves, they go for us too, right? And so like real good. Like they went to the collard green festival. I was there. My wife wasn't there. My wife was home. But when they came back from the collard green festival, they had a bag of collard greens for Hawaii.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Big shouts out to the collard green festival.
Yes.
So speaking of good neighbor, that was a good
amazing,
neighbor.
Man.
Listen,
yeah.
I was speaking to Boysville after we was at Urban Drinkway after the collard green festival.
That's usually the place you go after everything.
Yeah, and that was the current place while we was there, but we were just winding down, they taking down all the stuff, all the tents going down.
Right.
And I had to tell them, this felt like MLK.
Ooh.
It felt like another MLK day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all the vendors was lined up. You know what I'm saying?
And it was
getting
expanded.
to the money.
It was expanded.
Listen, it was getting to the money.
Yeah, it was expanded just to see, knowing that it was on 9th Avenue first, and then now to see this. They turned the corner, so it's on 9th Avenue and around the corner. They literally turned the corner.
They literally turned the corner. Real talk. It was probably 50 or more vendors.
Yeah.
50 or more.
Yeah.
I ain't counting. Big shouts out to the Urban League young professionals. I seen Dr. Brittany Peters out there.
Yeah.
I seen a couple of good vendors out there, man.
Sister Naira was there, Rebecca Black Family.
Yes, I seen Sister Naira.
Yeah. The League of Women Voters, they was there doing voter registration.
In the road, literally.
Yeah, voter education and stuff, man.
Yeah.
So it was a real great event.
Man, shout out to Score 727, man. I seen them boys out there doing their thing.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg One Community Grocery Co-op.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Take a moment to speak about the co-op, man. The co-op, the grocery co-op, their slogan, right, is "We own it."
Yeah.
Right, and it's the point for us to own a grocery store. So right now it's building, they're just making members.
Right.
You join, become a member, and then it gets to a point where once we got the membership, you go to the next stage of the co-op process.
Where we start doing like feasibility studies and all of those things. Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, jump in, y'all. It's like double dutch. You can go to ocgc.coop and learn more about it. OCGC, that's One Community Grocery Co-op. Dot co-op, right? .coop.
We always talk about cooperative economics, cooperative structures. So we have a co-op right here in St. Pete for us to join. You know what I'm saying? Pour into the cup and it'll overflow.
Absolutely, man. The Legends Ball. I missed the Legends Ball, but it was amazing, man.
I got a good report and big shots out to T. Brown and all the people that made it.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't.
I didn't make the Legends Ball. I did make Whitney Young Urban League not young professionals, Urban League annual.
Yes, they were honoring Watson Haynes passed.
They actually did a scholarship in his name, in his honor. It's like an education scholarship. Yeah. It was real big moment, man.
Hey, big shouts out to Urban League Young Professionals. We just got off Join Week. It's not too late for y'all to join. You can still join. Go to our Facebook page, Pinellas County Urban League Young Professionals. If you're a young professional, you want to join, get with us.
Real deal.
Okay, you don't scare me. You scared to live with Jesus out there.
Snuck in on you.
I didn't know you was coming.
Good morning. Welcome y'all to the show. We live on the air. Qiana's in the building right now.
Scared to Jesus out there.
Yeah. One thing. I'm not going to show up. What happened?
Color match.
So we talking about Black History Month. We talking about all this good stuff, all this excellent things that are happening. And
big excellence.
Continuing this theme of like Black excellence and what's going on Tuesday, February 28th at 6 p.m., the African American Heritage Association will be hosting the Closeout Black History Month event. And that's going to be at Urban as well. So you got the Urban Drinker is like the epicenter for all things Black excellence, y'all.
Hey, man, listen, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, big shouts out to everybody who's done an event this on Black History Month. I think it's record breaking, right?
It is.
We've done a lot this year on everything from the Excellence Expo. Well, no, it's now the Summit. The Excellence Summit, the Gala. You know what I'm saying? From your town hall. I mean, all the way to what's coming up now. You know what's coming up.
Green Festival. I know y'all talked about it.
Bigger than ever.
It was nice.
Man, listen, big shots out the Healing Fire on the drums. Power Plug Radio, who was official radio.
Doing the sound.
That's all family, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
The Four Horsemen.
Oh, yeah. We got to get the four. We actually got to put something together with the
Four Horsemen. If y'all don't know the Four Horsemen DJs, but y'all need to get to know them because 1/4 of them DJs here at 99 Jams. So big shouts out to Super Dave.
And they have a program where they actually do it, where they teach the elements of hip hop.
Yeah, we looking to do the elements of hip hop coming up, and they also going to do a community thing coming up as well. I ain't going to talk too much about it.
Okay, it's still
in the works. Elements of hip hop actually is coming up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No, that's what's up, man. Really, really amazing people do. Oh, let's talk about the Black Arts and Film Festival since we talking about Black excellence. That kick off this Thursday, right? This Thursday at the Factory, Wayward Walls, 7 p.m. You join us for an enchanting evening of light mixing and mingling in the beautiful ambiance inside of St. Pete's newest hotspots. For a unique liquid experience on the Deuces. Cran wrote that, didn't he?
Listen, man, it's a beautiful thing. I just want to give a big shout out to the one and only Carla B for planting the seeds, right? For the festival. Big shouts out to Cranston Cornerbacks, Debbie Yachty Garrett, right? Miss Debbie, and everybody that has something to do with it because this is big. We were actually on the Morning Blend last Monday or Tuesday.
Okay,
It was excellent, man. You know, Cranston did an amazing job.
I saw some behind the scenes photos, like Gypsy's daughter was there.
Yes. It was like a power meetup. She was there to be on the show for Localtopia, which just passed.
Localtopia was this weekend.
She has kids culture, if I'm not mistaken. I don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's a clothing by her child. So it's big. Jit probably gonna be a super billionaire. So.
Right. Another one. From the bird.
Another one. Big shots out on Cranston. Everybody doing it. So go to the website, blackartandfilmfestival.com.
and you can get the full schedule. But it's starting on Thursday all the way through Sunday.
Yes,
through Sunday the 26th, and it's ends Sunday with the BAFF award presentation.
Yes, this is going to be big.
So yeah, you got like an Artist of the Year presentation. You got National Artist Preparation Programs and graduation ceremony. It's going to be huge, y'all. It's going to be a tour this weekend. So once you check the schedule, you can actually see when the tour is to show you some spots around Pinellas County and in St. Pete where you can actually shoot.
Yes, it's going to be start on the Deuces. We're also going to do Thursday night. We're going to have a movie in the park.
Okay.
Right there at the same spot of the Collard Green Festival.
Okay, the Deuces Corner.
Yes, on the corridor, man. We wrapped it hard.
Nice. So yeah, that was it. Ribbon cutting for the Deuces Corner Park.
That was big, and what's gonna make it bigger is we're gonna invite all the people who came out, come bring your chairs, sit on the lawn and watch the movie.
Okay.
It's actually gonna be the first movie in the park at that particular park. So we're doing it big.
I love that.
For the area, you know what I'm saying? Putting the area on the map. Shouts out to the Deuces Corridor. The Deuces Live, Beatrice, everybody that's been working on it. Mr. Brayboy and his wife. Right? Big shouts out to Urban Drink where that's going to be the headquarters for the Black Art Film Festival.
I love that.
It's going to be something beautiful.
Right. And I like how we get all these announcements out the way up front. So when you go back and watch the replay, you can jump right in
and get where you need to go.
Get where you need to go right away, y'all. We invited Rep Rainer to come in the second half of the hour. I don't know if she's gonna make it. It was one of them impasse and like, hey man, it was one of them like as we having the conversation and she's saying what she's saying. I'm like, man, you need to come say that on the radio.
Yes. So, speaking of Tallahassee, we need to be in Tallahassee, right? We got some Tallahassee trips coming up. Big shots out.
Tell me about that, man.
Yes, Florida Rising is going to Tallahassee on the 20.
Something this week.
20. No, it's a lot going on. So this week, it's a couple other groups going early in the month, and then March
is when.
It's going to be a bus ride.
Okay.
Up to Tallahassee for 3 days.
So you like taking people though, like you?
Yes, man. Big shots out. Listen,
you got like a bus load.
Listen, man, the team is ready to roll.
You got a few going. Like
we want to go make an impact. We want to go make an impact. If you want to go make an impact, make sure you reach out to me. Write us in Facebook. Just message. Hey, I want to go to Tally with lobbying, talking about housing and the issues that impact you. We're gonna go talk to our elected officials. We're gonna do some press conferences. We're going to do some rallies. You know what I'm saying? We're going to feed you. We're going to get you up there. If you got your own whip, come on up there. We'll make the schedule, give you the itinerary. Y'all can roll on.
Look at this, man.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah. You always been about that. Good morning, Miss Teresa. I want to congratulate Miss Teresa again. Miss Teresa, she completed 38 years of service for the city of St. Pete.
The second retirement.
Second retirement. So she retired after 38 years.
Blessings on blessings.
On blessings, man. And she's been a blessing to us. Oh, Miss Teresa said she want to go to Tallahassee.
Okay, I'll make sure I connect with you. I'll make sure I send you the link. Let us know. Yes, because the best thing about it, right? It can be of all ages, but you got to, adults must accompany the children.
Okay.
Right? But you can bring a child.
If you're taking children.
Children.
Yeah, children welcome, but they got to have an adult with them.
Yeah, they got to have an adult with them. So of all ages, yes, Mr. Teresa, I will make sure I get you the link.
And so when y'all go to Tallahassee, just for those who don't know, when you go, like you're not just pulling up in the city and march, like you actually going to the Capitol.
Yes.
And you talking to.
We're going to the Capitol. It's organized. So it is organized. It's going to be meeting set for state reps. Florida Rising is a statewide organization, so they're going to have groups coming from different places in the city.
State, okay.
I mean, in the state. Thank you, Brother John. And then, so each group is going to go to their representatives.
Okay.
You get
so they're coming from around the state, and so like we got Senator Rousseau, we got Rep Rainer, we got other representatives up there.
Yes.
And you're going to be like talking to them about issues that matter and what they can be doing.
And then we're going to do a rally. It's going to be big. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
Room, board, and transportation will be provided if you need it. Because some people got families. Some people really don't need nobody to take care of them when they go out of town. They take care of themselves.
Right.
Because I'm that type of person, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can pay your own way.
Now get up your mama on, we're going to chill how we chill, and then we're going to partake, and then we're coming home.
Right.
So however you choose to get there, make sure you get with me, because it's important. Every time legislative session come, we need to have groups and teams of people going to lobby on our behalf. It's important.
Absolutely. So, Qiana, I see you put a link in the chat. You want to tell them about what that link is and what that means?
Oh, yes. The link in the chat is to donate. But because we're doing the marathon for the radio station. So there is the link right there. If you are tuned in right now, I want you to go down to the bottom of the page, share it. After you share it, wake up someone, tell them no more sleeping in bed.
Tag
It
'em.
is Monday. Tag your friend, tag your mama, your daddy, your sister,
Nah,
your
mama.
friend.
Tag mama.
If your kids are grown, tag them too.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
We got a goal of $2,000 for
Yes,
the
we
Tempe
do.
Breakfast Club
Yes.
to go to Care Festa Radio. It sounds like a lot, but it's not
Mm-mm.
because many hands make light work. You can give us $1, you can give us $10, you can give us $1,000. Whatever you can afford to give us comfortably and not mess up your stash, get back with us because we appreciate it. Care Festa Radio is a community radio station.
That's right. It's charity, y'all. We asking you to give some charity. So this is what I remember. We used to say this in the mosque a lot. So charity is this. Charity is what you can afford to give comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got that from you.
But if you want to make a sacrifice,
Ooh,
right? You can give a little more.
That's my
You know, give a little more. So give what you can give comfortably.
And
but if you really want to make a sacrifice,
yes.
give a little bit more and make yourself a little uncomfortable in your giving. But anything that you donate, the stars that you give,
that's
or
right.
the donation that you leave with the station is definitely appreciated.
Thank you.
Always, always, and always.
Thank you.
So it's the third Monday, and every third Monday of February, we celebrate President's Day.
So this is supposed to be our day off, right?
Yes, day off for a lot of people.
I don't think I got no day off.
No, it's a day off for a lot of people.
It is. I don't
The
have
bank-
it.
the
Today,
bank-
I think City Hall
the-
will be closed.
nah,
Is
I'm
the bank open?
no, the bank is not. Definitely, the bank is not
Well,
open.
how am I gonna get my money?
Go to the ATM machine.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
The ATM machine.
Hey, just go to tomorrow.
Go tomorrow. Because they're taking the day off. So
How many people actually walk in the bank and talk to the bank tellers?
Still?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
I like talking to the bank teller. I don't like going to the computers, right?
Yeah.
And then I appreciate.
Let's go back to that kind of that self checkout.
Yeah.
Yes, but I appreciate when the computer has a real person on the other end.
Yeah.
But I don't like doing what I'm saying. And I think the first AI really was, and y'all may say ATM. It was the first artificial intelligence, and we embraced it immediately.
Well, I didn't see it like that because it don't really like talk to you.
It don't talk, but it think, and it give you the right amount. And it
No,
tell you
you
what
no.
It ain't thinking.
It's just it's a
teller. Some teller lost their job because ATM.
I don't think nobody lost their
I think some people lost their job. I think
ATM outside.
I think people lost their job, but I think it's just responding to commands.
You think? Well, I'm gonna tell you, like those little pop up
ATM.
You know, the pop up banks, like some of them who don't have banks. So Chase right here on 34th Street. It's not called a pop up. It's called something else because they don't have like bank tellers in there. But okay, they have like your bankers. So you could go in there and talk to the banker, but there's no teller that you can walk up and talk to.
It's a machine.
No,
that's how it is at my bank.
So. No, there's so like you have to do the ATM to pull the money, but if like your banker, like when I have business questions, I make an appointment with my banker there, and then I sit down and talk to the banker about like business transactions at that point. But as far as like going in there and regularly just going to the ATM machine, they close that down over there.
So my bank, they have two. No, they actually have three.
To get money,
it's not ATM, it's an ITM. It's like an integrated teller machine, and so once you push the button, it's somebody on the screen sitting somewhere else, and it's like
you bank with a credit union.
I do. Okay. Yeah. So once you walk in, you have your banker. So you got your person right there, then you got your bankers in the back. But then if you like just doing a regular transaction, they got the machines.
Coast, right?
Yeah, they got the machines in there. You know what I'm saying? So like what you said, with a person behind it and all of that stuff.
So I will use some when I can't get to Navy Federal.
Okay. They got real people in there?
Navy Federal have real people.
Navy Federal, get at us. We need some sponsorship donation dollars. We talking to the banks out there. Hey, Ozark, who else out there? GTE.
Yeah, anybody who
Care Festa Radio is a community radio station, and we talking about your bank. Y'all need to send us a check. Bank of America. Yeah.
Miss Teresa said, I'm so glad that my son Ryan gave me a smart television so I can watch y'all on the big screen.
Hey, that's a vibe.
Take a picture of the screen and send it to us.
That's a vibe.
Take a picture and tag it for her. I want to see that one.
Hey, that's a vibe, man. How y'all watching us? Tell us.
So, okay, I have a question. Anybody went to the Florida State Fair this year?
I did not.
Nope. Have you went?
No, today's the last day.
I haven't been in years. And I think the last time I was going to go for a protest.
Oh, yep, I remember. They was gonna go to jail that time, wasn't they?
Yeah, they was gonna go. That's why I didn't go.
That's why
Because when we saw about protesting, they was talking about chaining themselves to the entry and blocking the entryway. And I was like, nah.
They did it. They went to jail. They didn't go to like that. They did it.
And shout out to the Dream Defenders. They were actually, it was Andrew Joseph and his family. They was protesting because he actually ended up winning a few $1 million.
But this was years before.
But it was before that. This was they were still fighting and still
saying that it was wrong. They were saying that it was wrong.
Yeah.
And then
applying that pressure. Applying pressure. And that pressure eventually, resulted in the win. But that's my state fair.
So I usually go to the Florida State Fair like every year.
So you didn't go to
you got stuck on a ride or something.
Two rides got so I might go. I'm thinking about going sometime today.
I ain't getting on no rides after what happened to the young brother in Orlando.
Okay. That's the end of your ride.
That weekend, me and my youngest son was getting on rides, right?
Wow.
And so I'm the type we get to ride all
Yeah, I'm that dude too.
And we rode every ride, right? Yep. And we got on the ride like that. And I felt uneasy when we was on it, right? I'm like, dang, this don't. I was like, oh, this don't feel right.
Feel like, you know
what I'm saying? And then we dropped. Okay, it's over, get off. And then the next news report, the young man.
So I don't do the big drop. Like I'm a rider.
Yeah, the big drop.
I don't do the
You do the big drop?
Not no more. I did it. So let me tell you why I don't do the big drop. One is when Qiana was younger, we're at the Florida State Fair, we got on the big bin. And I was getting on, and I was like, "No, Sha, this is too scary." And Sha was like, "No, I want to get on there with you." She got it, and my baby was scared after that.
After the big drop.
The big drop, so I was like, "Yeah, no, we're good on the big drop." And I'm a rider, like I am a rider. So, but the older I get, like at the fair, I really just kind of go maybe eat a couple of things, I like Smitty's.
Okay,
that's the corn dog place. Like they have the best corn dog.
You go enough to know the vendors,
right? So and I know
go enough to know.
And see, I know okay. And I know where they're set up at, right? Okay. So but now here you go. I worked at the fair one year.
Oh, okay. So you got the
this
inside.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say this.
You got the inside.
Okay.
So I did.
You did the thing.
I did this fair for 1 year a few years back when I was a manager for Sprint. We had like a pop-up.
Okay.
We're like
outside.
Sprint. I used to have the little Fiat, the yellow Fiat. It said Sprint. I was everywhere in that car.
I remember that's Sprint. Yeah.
Shout out to Sprint. Y'all need to send us a check.
I'm going to tell you, Sprint did send out some great checks.
Well, Care Festival Radio 99.1 Jams is community radio. Y'all can send us some money.
Real deal. So,
I'm for real.
Everybody we call, you just gonna go back behind me we send us some money.
Send us some money. Yeah.
Send us some money.
Thank you very much.
No, a donation. Seriously, we on a donation drive. $2,000 is our number.
Yeah.
Maybe you can become a sustaining member and just send us money every month.
Yeah. Right, because on the donation it says one time or monthly.
Yes,
right on there. Member. This is how we keep our lights on. This is how we're able to go everywhere that we need to go. We talk about like the Breakfast Club is now like we are mobile, regardless if we're on this radio station or the other. You can get us either way.
Yeah.
You tell us which way you like it, we're gonna show up.
The way you like it.
Right. You have it your way.
Have it your way.
That's real.
Right. We'll pop up. You have an event, let us know. I mean, y'all tuned in us, so clearly y'all like our voices.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Right. And we like to talk to y'all clearly. Because we show up to work everywhere. So I'm gonna say that. So like if you need somebody for your events, we're here.
Real deal.
And then the great thing about it is y'all from our city, we know a lot of y'all. Yep. So you don't have to worry about us not being real and authentic to the process of what you're doing because we are fans of our fans.
Right. Yeah.
We are cheering.
I like that.
No, we are fans of our fans. Yeah, that's true.
We are, and we're rooting your success. Like we are invested into your projects and your events and stuff. And with a good host, you know what I mean?
It takes what you're doing to the next level.
Yes. So hire us.
Okay. Line them up, your boss. Send us some money too. That's what she said. Line them up. Sprint is not T-Mobile.
Yes,
Okay, so yes,
they service. It was just down. They had the whole South Side down, and people was picking on me.
Because you couldn't.
I'm paying all this money. I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
No. So everybody was down.
No, everybody was on T-Mobile and Sprint.
Is T-Mobile Metro?
Metro too. It was down.
I didn't even know I was down there because I ain't.
So those your hours anyway.
Okay, that was down anyway.
Oh no, because in the middle of the night, like you had no bars.
Listen,
like it was even in the middle of the day, like everybody was at McDonald's on Valentine's Day because I had to take my clients, so we went to McDonald's.
So let's ask the people: were y'all impacted by the Sprint? T-Mobile?
Some people said, I talked to somebody in North Carolina and they had Verizon and their phone was down.
Listen,
so I think it was. So I don't think it was just a.
They owe us. Everybody needs to be calling customer service. Y'all tune in. I'm gonna tell you in the next hour how to get this much phone bill.
Well, he's not. I'm going to tell you this.
That's a life hack. I think y'all go ahead.
Y'all tune in the next hour. I'm gonna tell you how to call in to customer service and get a refund or a rebate for this month
for the time.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, if y'all listening, no. If y'all are listening, he's not gonna tell you within this next hour because he's gonna be on radio within this hour, so he don't even have time.
I'm saying live. I'm saying on the next set.
Oh, you already done did it. You know how to get it.
Yeah, they don't pay me a lot.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, that's why I stopped you. And pointed it like you don't know what this man do.
I
had 9 months uninterrupted free.
Yeah.
Because of stuff like this.
Oh well, let's run it.
Yeah.
Run it. My bad.
They call it a rebate.
You know what? Check me when I'm wrong. No, but I'm glad.
And my number one thing I tell them, right? And you know, you be talking to a representative and they're supposed to defend. I say, well, how would you feel if I paid my whole bill and got half the service?
Right.
And so I pay my whole bill every month. So if I'm not getting my whole service,
you know, why should I pay the whole bill?
And you want me to, but you want me to tell you what's so funny?
That's a ripoff. I should call my lawyer.
You should. I called Sprint. I called T-Mobile.
I know you had something for the people. Look, let me finish reading this.
Go ahead.
All right, so yeah, call in if you want to learn how to get some money. Or just listen. So it's the third Monday. Every third Monday in February, we celebrate President's Day in all of its patriotic glory. Many people relish their day off. That's what we talked about earlier, Mr. Edmonds. So it's supposed to be a day off.
He is out of school.
But they say you might be surprised that. Well, no, that was the point. The whole point of President's Day was for a day off. That was the point in 1971. President's Day moved in an effort to create more 3-day weekends for the public and hope that this would inspire greater productivity nationwide. It was believed that at this point in the year, the restorative effects of the winter holidays have begun to fade, and people need another break to regain some of that lost stamina. So you know how like during the December holiday, November kind of stuff start winding down. You take that week off for Thanksgiving, then you come right back into it, and you get into like the Christmas holidays. Then we get Kwanzaa, which is that last week, and then now. So they saying like after all of that restorative, energy that you was able to save up in February. Right now, we need another break.
Okay,
so they created a 3-day weekend in February to be like, okay, we've been going hard since the year started.
Since January.
And so,
but we got Martin Luther King Day, so now, but that was before. We didn't have Martin Luther King Day when that
was a 3-day weekend.
That's a 3-day weekend.
Yeah,
but President's Day was before MLK.
Yeah, it was in 1971.
Yeah, MLK was like 90s. We took that day.
80s, late 80s.
Late 80s.
Yeah, late 80s.
Well, I was still.
Late 80s.
Yeah, late 80s.
School. Okay, 88. You're right. 89. You're right. It
was federally recognized.
Yes.
But then there were some states that still didn't honor and recognize.
They ain't like us.
Yeah, Florida. And I agree. I think this 3-day weekend is necessary.
But are you working today?
A little bit.
I'm working today.
Are you leaving early today?
I am.
So then you working?
Okay, I am.
You said he was working.
I said
I'm just saying, but like.
I love it.
You working?
But it's like it's different when you work. Like nope. It's different when you work and you don't have to work.
Yes. Or is it different when you love your work?
Okay,
you're never working.
There's a whole nother difference. That's a whole nother thing.
That's why I fall into love.
I shouldn't work. Should I cancel these meetings I got?
And you should stay the whole day.
Okay.
Because you got
somebody in the lobby. I don't know
I know who that is.
I know who that is too.
I can't see around corner.
Don't worry, I know.
You don't know who it is.
I know I don't. She got so many jokes. She come in like a comedian. Big shout out to Damon Davis.
He had his comedy show.
Speaking of comics, we got our own resident comic. I hope he call in right now so he can tell us about.
He's not up yet. He's not up yet. I don't see him nowhere in the comments.
Somebody tag Damon Davis or his wife
and tell him
to wake up,
sleeping in bed.
Wake up. Yeah, call and tell us about that comedy show, my brother. Tell us about what you got going on later this week.
Yeah,
we want to hear.
Oh, well, it's a sold out event. We're celebrating 3 years.
Okay.
For
Urban Drinkery?
No.
Urban Tattoos.
Yeah.
Urban Ink.
Okay. Urban Ink.
Hey man, big shouts out to Brainstorm.
Man, I'm kind of upset with Brainstorm. Brainstorm, if you're listening, he was supposed to call me back. Me and my wife was supposed to get some tattoos.
Ooh, matching tattoos?
Yeah.
When you trying to get in?
That's how they be doing.
I was trying to get in back in October.
When do you want to get in?
Okay, let's talk about the I don't want everybody to follow me over to Urban Ink. But
okay.
help me.
She is. I can't have no. That's how I'm going to.
Yeah, so we was like, because we was gonna go, and then we trying to do like, okay, we gonna support the black tattoo artists and all of that stuff, and so yeah, let's make it happen.
Yes.
Also today, y'all,
we need to do Tampa Bay Breakfast Club tattoos, y'all.
No, I ain't doing that.
Why?
How many
tattoos do you have?
I got 2.
That's it. Those 2 right now.
How many you got? 2, 3. How many you got?
No.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6. Okay.
6,
Okay. You did.
I got like 7.
I'm about 6.
Okay. I got some more that's coming in.
I'm in, and I got these in the last 4 years.
Yeah, we're gonna go get Tampa Bay Breakfast Club tattoos. If y'all think we need to get Tampa Bay Breakfast Club tattoos, like, comment, and share.
When did you get your first tattoo? So you just got your first tattoo like a couple of years ago, you said?
Yeah, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. We got some other things we want to talk about.
When did you get your first?
Oh, now you're young.
Okay, I was 16 too. Go ahead.
Okay.
We can move on.
Let's Elmo the tattoo conversation. But shout out to Urban Ink. Congratulations on
We'll come back to it tomorrow.
Some of 11. I want to talk about tattoos.
Okay,
we'll come back later.
We here to serve you.
I'm totally joking.
We don't need random topics and be way left for a long time. That's all. I'm just
and she be winning. She be yeasting it up.
Take a whole 30 minutes on tattoos and we'll get another
crime. She right with it. That's why she wore the same shirt.
Yeah, y'all do that.
We had a memo going out. Brother John didn't get the memo.
We got to flip and get her back on this side. All right, so today is also World Day of Social Justice, right? World Day of Social Justice is also observed annually on February 20th. Internationally, the world is plagued with unfortunate issues that prohibit millions of individuals from living a fair life. So many of the world's populations, through no fault of their own, are deprived of basic facilities such as homes, jobs, healthcare, education, nutrition, and more. And it must be the responsibility of the privileged to ensure that we can create a just world where social justice is the norm. If you want to contribute in an extremely meaningful way, you could either enter the law profession. That's what they were saying. Lawyers have been big historically with fighting social justice, and also other ways that you can get involved. But today is World Social Justice Day, and so thank a social justice warrior throughout your travels.
Well, thank y'all. I want to thank y'all social justice warriors that sit on Tampa Bay Breakfast Club with me. Y'all true fighters, true
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for what you do.
Too.
Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate it.
We talked about it earlier. So for those who missed it, Mr. Edmonds actually going up to Tallahassee. We're going to be taking people to Tallahassee.
Yes, we're going to Tallahassee. We're going to go and do some lobbying. We're going to do some rallying. We're going to do some press conferences. Big shout out to Florida Rising. Come on, y'all can come. This room.
It's 3 days.
Yes, 3 days. And I'm going to put the link in the comments. If you want to join, I also just inbox Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and I'll send you a link.
Real deal. And so this is one of the things that, so we got the District 7 survey out. If you want to take the survey, if you haven't taken the survey, you can go to d7speaks.com.
d7speaks.com.
And take that survey, y'all, because we're trying to hear from everyone. And
yes,
2 of the leading things that's coming up, I want to talk about the second one. So 2 things is coming up big in the survey as priorities for people. Housing is one, and then the second one is jobs, wages, and cost of living. And so I was reading this article that says that universal They've raised their minimum wage. So Universal, I guess in Orlando, they have a $17 minimum.
Okay, Universal
Yeah,
Studios.
$17 minimum hourly rate is the starting wages at the theme park when it's going to be taking effect this summer. Other people have been raising their wages, with the minimum wage increase. But here's the thing that I've been hearing from people in certain industries is that they're hiring, but they're having difficulty finding people. So they have the jobs available, but they're having difficulty finding people to work the jobs. And so, again, I'm looking at these survey results and then I'm talking to employers. And they're saying, okay, but we got like 2% unemployment, which is like one of the lowest ever. But people are still saying that they need jobs or they need good paying jobs. And people who are hiring saying we need workers. So I'm starting to be a little confused about which came first, the chicken or the egg, the job or the worker, because where we at?
It's two issues we're dealing with, right? We're dealing with a situation of not being able to get the word out, right?
Okay.
So the resources or the jobs don't always have a direct connect to the people that they want to hire. So they usually hire people or whatever way they do it. So that's one reason, right?
Okay.
But then the second reason is a lot of these jobs are asking for ridiculous qualifications.
Okay.
Right? Unrealistic expectations on the employees, right? So there are people applying, but they're being turned down, right?
I heard that. I heard that part of it.
Because a lot of employers are looking for these super employees, right? With these super abilities, right? So like it was some local job around here, and I was looking at them, and what they were asking for, right? It limits the amount of people that are ever qualified for the job, right? So, and I'm looking at it like, well, they're serving our community, they're serving us, but it's probably less than 5% of us in this community that could successfully apply for that job.
Okay, go ahead, caller. Introduce yourself.
Hey man, it's your brother Reno Moore in the building, man. What is
King Reed, what's good? What's good? Talk to me. We're talking about jobs in the economy.
So jobs in the economy, big shout out to my brother, your brother. His name is Sean Rochester.
Okay.
And Sean Rochester put together a body of work, and we call it, or he calls it, the black tax.
Okay.
Right. And so unbeknownst to a lot of Americans, there's a tax on black people, and he compiled a very good book to explain it all. So in the black tax, he tells you that a black person who has the degrees, the black person who has no criminal record, he still does not get the same job opportunity that a white person with a criminal record gets. And so what's happening is a lot of us are being put out of work because the people who are deciding us in employment don't like us like that. And they tax us this way. The black doctor makes $6 million less than his white counterparts. There's a huge tax on us, and when we don't put this into the mathematical equations, sometimes we just go on and point fingers saying, "Hey, man, people don't even want these kind of jobs anymore, man." We're not looking at a monster behind the wall that doesn't employ us like it used to.
Got it.
It's looking to employ the Mexican and the illegal workers, and they're doing it.
Got it. Okay.
Peace and light.
Thank you for your
Peace
contribution.
and light.
So, yeah, because I did hear the thing about the qualifications. I think I might have referred the black tax to Reno. So I think I'm not sure.
But you read it.
But I read it. I read it.
So you was a part of that book club.
We got an unofficial book club. We got an unofficial book club.
Because people tell us books and we'll buy it. Dr. Brittany came in here and suggested a book. And I know
you checked it out?
Yeah, I did.
See, we got an unofficial book. We might make it official coming up on this new year in April.
No, and so let's do it. The Tampa Bay Breakfast Club book club. Oh, we can just
Tampa Bay Breakfast
just ride with the barbershop book club.
But no,
in the
this
book
ain't
of the month.
not but this ain't for children.
Okay. Children and adults. Nonetheless, so when we talk about so it's qualified people is one of the things that we hear. So that means because we're looking at how can we like solve this issue.
She hired an expert. She hired hundreds of people.
So this is what I'm
hearing.
Y'all
have to.
So
you hired more than me.
Let me just recap real quick. What I'm hearing is this. I'm hearing that so we don't have the qualified people, and then what Reno's saying is we have qualified people that's just not being hired.
And that's what I was gonna say too.
So you do have qualified people. Racism is like excluding people who are qualified. and then you have this other group of people who are qualified or not qualified at all.
So here's the job force in my mind. Like you have people who went and got these degrees, and then they go to these jobs, and they say you get this degree, you're supposed to make so much money, right? You're supposed to be able to take care of your family. But then you look at that when they get these degrees, they go in there and they're requiring a lot of work for entry level, and then they're not paying them
unfair wages.
It is definitely unfair wages. And when you say $15, $17, you be like, "Oh, that's good," but really, that's no money. Not even when you like when you're looking at here for adults that's trying to survive and take care of their families. It's really hard to survive off of that. And I'm one of them people, and I will tell you that like I was on the fence with raising the minimum wage. Not that I don't think. Let me tell you why. Not let me tell you why. Not because not because I don't think people should make more money, but originally when I was thinking about it, people when you're doing minimum wage, I think of like seniors and I think of children,
entry level workers,
right? And
people
then
just getting into the workforce,
right? And then if they're making so much money at teenagers, what are they going to strive for when they get older? And so I kind of went.
That's always been a debate.
It always been, but there are people that still have to work entry level jobs, and they should still be able to provide for themselves.
Absolutely. And then the other part of this equation they were saying is that you have a segment of the population who are not working like standard 9 to 5 because there's so many gig economies and opportunities. So like you could drive for Uber, you can do Uber Eats, you can do good money. You can make good money doing things that don't require you to be in an office, all day or be in the field all day.
But I want to say this, and this is where we have a problem, right? Because you have good jobs, right, with good or medium pay, but they're asking people to have like 200,000 in degrees.
Yeah.
Right. And then the degree
200,000. That's what you
like,
pay.
All right. So you need either what I learned.
Yeah.
You need like all these degrees, or you need the experience.
Okay.
Right. And I'm going to tell you the experience, and then your net worth.
Why you saying this so loud?
Because I just want people to know, because they don't understand about the power of networking. I'm sorry, but they don't understand the power of I did. Or Reno, because when Reno come in, he don't have a thing. He be like, huh?
Yeah, man, you going?
But no,
it's your network because when you're networking, you get jobs that your degrees cannot.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Nepotism is real. That's a part of your network. That's a part of networking.
That's what I'm saying. It's a part of networking.
And so if I can tell anybody that goes to college, to the young people, you want to get a good degree, but you also want to network with people. That is the biggest part that you want to take
while you're there.
While you're in college, so is that they can go because you don't know who's gonna hire you for the next job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know who's going to have the next best thing. And if you did it properly while you were in social circles and your network is strong, your next job may be your career.
No, I like
hired by somebody that you met.
Yeah, I like that. Mr. Edmond mentioned the word nepotism, so I think that's one of them things too that we don't embrace because they told us, it's bad. You know what I mean? But it's like if your cousin work at somewhere and your cousin can get you a job somewhere, why wouldn't you talk to your cousin about having them get the job?
Listen,
or why wouldn't you hire or help your cousin or help your nephew? Like I think that nepotism should be encouraged.
So I subscribe.
You know what I mean?
You got a subscription?
I subscribe
why?
Because I hire everybody I know.
That's what you do first. I know that first before. You do that first, right?
But it's serious because honestly, right?
I will fire you if you don't do the job, but I hire you first.
That's right.
We ain't talking about negative nepotism. We talking about positive nepotism. Where you give your nephew experience to move up in life, right?
Yeah.
Like I only got jobs. I never got a job that I applied for.
Okay.
Like the jobs I got, the application usually was a formality or a procedure.
Yeah.
I already had the job. You know what I mean? So my network has helped me tremendously. Right. Like find a career, find a way in life. So I echo what Qiana just said about the network. Tap in. Tap in. You know, your uncle work here, your cousin work here, or maybe just a homeboy or a friend. Go work hard for them because they're your friend, but also because they gave you opportunity.
No, that's right. I want to take Mr. Teresa's comment, and then we're gonna go to break. So it says, Mr. Teresa says, sadly, when people are paid $15, it puts them over the income levels for many safety net programs like food stamps, services from legal aid agencies, etc. And in these economic times, $15 an hour is not even enough to pay for housing costs plus food and basic needs. So it's a catch-22.
You know what I'm gonna say? Trash.
It's a catch-22.
That's trash.
Hey, we got a couple more comments, but we'll talk about get them when we come back.
Okay, what you got? Well, I think we got a couple.
Yeah, we got like.
Okay, we got UB Rhymes. UB says unemployment rate is higher, but they are not letting people apply for unemployment.
Wow. Who else
it's all kinds of games. Then we got Qiana, yeah. This is true. Networking. She agreed. Them agreeing with networking.
Okay, got it. Now, that's what's up, y'all. So listen, we're gonna take a break. It's the top of the hour. We're gonna play Democracy Now, so you'll get some headline news. And then after the break, like I said, I don't know if she's gonna respond. That was an impasse and invitation, so hopefully she'll be here. If not, we can carry today. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We'll be right back at about 7 minutes after the hour.
All American forces will be withdrawn from South Vietnam.
50 years later, a small group of U.S. veterans have returned to live there permanently. We'll be finding out why.
No place like Nam. Saturday at 12 GMT. In 30 minutes, Crowd Science with Marnie Chesterton. Since yoga attracts not just 300 million fans around the world, but also a myriad of health claims, Crowd Science brings together a panel of experts to ask, what's the evidence? How does science go about difficult business of isolating any benefits? This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
An unexpected visitor braves the war to visit Ukraine.
Russia's aim was to wipe Ukraine off the map. Putin thought Ukraine was weak and the West was divided. He thought he could outlast us. I don't think he's thinking that right now.
The simple trip ends went down very well with his hosts.
Thank you very much for coming, Mr. President.
Hello, I'm Gabe Ortiz, and this is WEDU Arts Plus. Based out of St. Pete, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is a morning radio show about hip-hop life and urban culture. Meet the hosts who inform and empower their listeners.
I'm Jabbar Edmond. I go by Mr. Edmond. My role, I'm a host and I'm co-founder.
My name is Brother John Muhammad, Your Brother John, YourBrotherJohn.com. And my role on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is host or co-host.
I just go by Qiana. Sometimes you may hear the guys call me Q. I may say Q just depending on my personality that day. And I'm the female of the crew. I think I keep balance when you look at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So that's my role.
And I'm Bruce Moore Jr. A lot of people do know Bruce Moore Jr., obviously being born and raised here and going to school here, but there's many more people that know Reno.
St. Pete is small, and so the good things and bad things that come with a small city, you know, everybody knowing each other, of course, would be one of the pluses.
My neighbors were not only just my neighbors, they became my family.
Trying to put that back now, like really getting back to a place where we know our neighbors and we look out for each other. There was a St. Pete that existed, you know, south of Central, and then there was another St. Pete that existed north of Central and downtown. It was a struggle then, and I think it's still, you know, somewhat a struggle for Black people in the city of St. Pete.
Even with every step of progress we make, it's still a struggle to, implement that progress.
Did y'all hear about the weed college, the first cannabis college?
In Orlando.
Talk to us, Soprano.
No, yeah, I've been looking at it.
This is serious, y'all.
Over a year ago.
If you got the charges, go and get the degrees, King. You got years of experience, man. It ain't like you come into a classroom with no data.
Elon Musk said that a drug dealer knows how to manage and run a business better.
I can't believe that.
The real facts, man.
I'm all about education. But what I'm saying is that we carry this industry on our backs.
The way we started the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, Jabbar approached me about what could we do, how can we do something together, and then an opportunity to promote Amendment 4. Amendment 4 is the, voting rights restoration to returning citizens. We were able to negotiate a deal where we got like 30 minutes on the radio, got 99 jams to talk about, Amendment 4 and other local, policies.
The United States is in no position to make demands of China. We will never accept the U.S. pointing fingers at Sino-Russian relations or even coercing us.
Japan has requested an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council after North Korea test-fired an intercontinental ballistic missile into the sea off Japan's coast Saturday. North Korea fired 2 more long-range missiles earlier today. North Korea said the launches are a warning to the U.S. and South Korea as they prepare for joint military drills. Top diplomats of Japan, South Korea, and the U.S. held emergency meetings on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference and threatened further isolation of Pyongyang.
North Korea will face more severe sanctions by the international community. Pyongyang will gain nothing from its provocations.
Turkey says it's wrapping up rescue operations in all 2 provinces 2 weeks after a pair of massive earthquakes and their aftershocks devastated Turkey and neighboring Syria. The death toll now tops 46,000, is expected to keep rising as more bodies are discovered. This weekend, the Ghanaian soccer star Qiana was confirmed as one of the victims. The 31-year-old Atsu played for a Turkish club and previously for teams in Saudi Arabia and Britain. Christian Atsu's body was repatriated to Ghana as tributes poured in, with his former soccer clubs in the UK holding a minute's applause before their weekend games. Meanwhile, a union representing architects and engineers in Turkey condemned the government and local authorities for ignoring their warnings about issues with building construction and their pleas for stronger regulations. In Israel, thousands of protesters have taken to the streets, blocking roads, massing in front of the Knesset in Jerusalem as the far-right government of Benjamin Netanyahu pushes ahead on highly contested legislation that would greatly disempower Israel's judiciary. On Saturday, an estimated 250,000 people took to the streets of Tel Aviv and other cities to protest the plan for the 7th consecutive week. In Syria, at least 15 people were killed and a number of homes were destroyed early Sunday as Israel launched airstrikes on the capital, Damascus. The bombings leveled a 10-story building and left behind a massive crater in a district that's home to senior Syrian government officials. It's believed to be Israel's deadliest attack on Syria since the start of the civil war nearly 12 years ago. Elsewhere, the U.S. Military Central Command, CENTCOM, says it's killed ISIS leader Hamza al-Homsi during an assault in northeastern Syria Thursday. 4 U.S. soldiers were reportedly injured in a helicopter raid. The assault came as Syria's government said 53 people were shot and killed by ISIS fighters after an ambush in Homs province last week. In Bulgaria.
Okay. Welcome back. This is Qiana.
Hey, this is the one and only Mr. Edman.
Hey, man, it's your brother Rico Moore in the building.
And this is the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. And you have tuned in to our second hour.
Yes. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And this is Qiana Festa Radio 99 Jams .1 FM new morning show.
Yes. Okay. So since we're at the top of the hour, right? All right. I see the viewers are still there. Thank y'all for staying in for our little small break. Yes. We appreciate it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to go down to the bottom, share this, right? Tell somebody to like our page also. So share, comment, tag somebody in, tell them to wake up. Please, it's Monday morning. The early bird gets the worm, right?
Yes, we don't eat worms. But if we did, if we did, we would be like the bird and get up early.
Then once you do, I love it. Well, so once you tag somebody, tell them to wake up, send us some stars. Also, you see that we do have pinned on here because we are running a marathon. We are trying to fundraise $2,000 from the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and I think we're gonna meet our goal. I have faith in y'all.
Hey, like Faith Evans?
Yes.
I love Faith in y'all. Look, what's his name? Gotta have faith, the faith. What's his name? Michael what?
Michael Bolden.
No, Michael. You gotta have faith. It's,
Eric Clapton?
No, that's the
No.
lead singer from Wham.
Who sang?
What's the lead singer from Wham?
Who sang?
Hey, y'all, what's the lead singer from Wham?
Just put it in the
brain fart right now. He's singing.
Keep going.
It ain't Michael Bolden?
Keep going. He left Wham, and he was saying, I think it's Michael something, but it's not Michael Bolden though.
So
Michael
we will
Bolden,
talk about it later.
That sound like a soulful brother.
What's the point you're making?
Okay, so also donate, go in there, click in, donate. Once you donate, you can either do a one-time donate or you can do a monthly donate, right? So please donate. Let's do it. We have a goal of $2,000. I know the last time we people called in.
It's George Michael.
Oh, George Michael.
Michael George, whoever.
Oh, so we had it wrong.
It's not Prano Shawty. It's
Yes.
Shawty Soprano. So we don't do people like that. Why ain't got a whatever? I hate when grandma.
Other than
People call me Prano all the time. What are you talking about? You
That's your
call me
name.
Prano.
That's your name though.
Shawty Soprano.
Nobody says Prano Shawty.
Yeah, we don't flip it.
Nobody say Prano Shawty or whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, what you call my dog? That's Prano.
Some people might like it. I
Put
mean,
some respect on Michael.
Put some respect on my
other
name.
than life, right? But
Like
Shawty Soprano,
Jennings?
no, other than life. I mean, and Shawty Soprano is a name that you made up. But other
How
than
you know I made that up?
somebody made it
I
up.
did,
Your
I
mama
did.
did it.
Nah,
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Your mama didn't make
He
it.
put the fight up and he did it.
Yeah,
Look,
He put the fight up and you right, Q.
It was me.
I can't take him like that right now.
Okay, Brother
He put the
John-
fight up and you right the whole time.
Brother John say stay focused. But other than life, your name is the first gift that your parents give.
Okay.
Okay, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Okay. I mean,
So,
who's back on that?
in other news, 2 days ago,
He found some news.
yes,
And
2
it
days,
better be accurate. Go ahead.
2 days ago, February 16th, executive order on further advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. This comes from whitehouse.gov, wh.gov. Is executive order on furthering advancing racial equity. We So what your thoughts is? I heard it. I'm gonna give y'all's first, and then I'll go.
No, you go. You started it out. Run
So
it.
okay, my thoughts on this is it's very how can I say, it's tiring, right? Because we steady working on something that should be natural, right? treating people with equity and racial fairness, because we shouldn't have no underserved communities, right? We shouldn't be underserving our community. We got a community that's underserved right now. We got issues going on right here at home in our community, right? And what we got to do is work together, because I think honestly, looking for the government, right, to help us is going to be a futile effort, right? These people ain't never did nothing for us. We have to take it serious, you know what I mean, and do for ourselves.
It should be natural.
That's
Go
when
ahead.
they get it. That's when they get achieved, though. You know what I'm saying? Like in order for us to still subscribe to America, and we're gonna achieve a perfect union with other races, like a melting pot. Like in a melting pot, everybody lose their flavor. You know what I'm saying? You want to be like a salad, right? Because a salad, everybody holds their own, and in a melting pot, you almost create people to be colorblind. Now, when you're colorblind, you help other people achieve stuff that really go against your own people. You know what I mean? And caller, go ahead.
Caller. Oh, go ahead, caller. Introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. Good morning. This is Courtney. How y'all doing?
Hey,
Hi. I know I worked for an organization previously, and we discussed racial equity, and it was always like a big, we should do this, we should do that. And when I brought up the idea, why not just eliminate the race field on our documentation when we're asking questions to help people, right? So it was a nonprofit. So we were helping people, giving assistance out. Why do we even have race on there? And they were like, well, the government wants to track, the government wants to tell you and dictate who you give money to. So if we eliminate that field where whether you're black or white or what have you, on those, you can't say, oh no, we we didn't discriminate when we were giving out funds. We just gave them out because guess what? We don't even know what they are. Even though that's sometimes I may not even take that I'm African American because I feel like, hey, I could be whatever race I want to be today. If I decide I want to be check off black, if I decide I want to check off, I'm Hispanic. What difference does it make? Are you giving out? Are you giving out things? Are you putting me in a certain category? Feel when you see I'm African American. What is it that you're trying to track? If we eliminate that feel, we can try to move forward and eliminate the racial equity in different ways. That's how I feel.
Right, Queen. Right, Queen.
I don't disagree. Good morning.
Thank you for that. Let Brother know, man. Black Taxes is a documentary that I found in the middle of the night trying to turn the TV off. I ain't lying. But by the time I found the control, I had an earful of oh my God. And by the time I aimed the TV, the remote at the TV, I saw Google Talks at the bottom of the screen. So I said, this brother is dropping these kind of jewels at Google Talks. It began to be the first book in documentary form that I ever ordered from online before the documentary was over with. And I subscribed to having a YouTube education and more online, look at a lot of stuff. I took 8 kings to order that book at the beginning of COVID, so that's why kind of Brother John kind of foggy on whether or not he introduced the book or not. But I mean, in TLC frequency, y'all, I am not too proud to beg, man. I would beg. I do not have a problem with begging y'all to read this book, order this book. Every black person breathing should order this book, because when you're being naive. And thinking that we should be pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps, because that's a common theme in America, is to tell us to work hard and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we can achieve the American dream. And that's just not what the proof is. You know what I mean? And we have real proof of our extreme discrimination that's done to us, then we'll kind of move a little differently. You know what I mean? But we kind of move a little naive. We move with hope in our movement stuff. Caller, go ahead. You alive on the Breakfast Club.
And introduce yourself.
Hi, this is State Representative Michelle Rayner.
Hey, State Rep.
How are y'all?
Wonderful. We were waiting on you to call.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry I cannot be with you. We had a little bit of change in plans, so but I wanted to call in.
No problem. Thank you for the call. So what's going on in Tallahassee? Tell us.
What's not happening?
Equity and justice.
Correct. Actual real housing.
You can't stay woke.
Yeah. Correct. You can't stay woke. You can't all of the things. So I mean, obviously, you know that there is a outlet war on education, but specifically Black folks in education. And, you know, the governor has indicated that the AP course for Black history lacks educational value, which then led the College Board to change the curriculum. But he's now stating that the state of Florida may not use College Board at all and go to some, I think it's called like classic tests, which like nobody knows what this is. And basically, you know, which would not allow for our children to be competitive when they are applying to colleges and universities. So really he is taking his, you know, culture wars to the extreme. But what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing from other friends of mine who are legislators in other states, they are going to be introducing legislation to give Florida college age students scholarships to come study in their states. They are also going to be introducing legislation to entice businesses away from Florida. So everything that he is doing at a detriment. But as I've shared with other folks, the only thing he understands is money. He doesn't understand morals. He doesn't understand right and wrong. He understands money. And I think that he's going to have to be hit in the pocket with his money. I mean, that's just one of the many things that's happening in Tallahassee.
So one of the people, I love talking to you all, those who are front line in the face of it, right? So, State Rep, this is Reno. Got a question for you. Like, what's the new voter rights infringement activity that have been done by the state of Florida for us and moving on us and our voter rights?
Well, I think that you saw last week during this special session, which we can have a conversation at a later date, that was, why we had to have a special session when session is starting in like a week and a half, but nonetheless, that there is a statewide prosecutor that is going to be assigned to prosecute these quote unquote voter fraud cases. And Representative Gant made the comment, we don't need to embolden law enforcement, which is what a statewide prosecutor is. We need to fix the system and fix the process. If people have voting cards and have been said that they're eligible to vote and they're not, that is not a prosecution or punishment issue. That is a system issue, right? And however, you would think that would make sense because it makes sense to me. However, there will be an arm of the statewide prosecutor, which is of the AG's office, that will specifically arrest and prosecute folks who allegedly committed voter fraud. And the issue with that is that it makes people pause and have second thoughts about actually voting, because even if you are a returning citizen and you may have your voting rights restored, you may be nervous because you don't know what's going to happen, right? And especially if you are one that that's not the life you live anymore, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that it's also a way to stop and show people from exercising the right to vote, and who are the people that mostly this impacts, Black and brown folks who tend to vote Democratic, but also, the point was brought up during special session. There are people who voted for Donald Trump who were impacted by this. So their own people, but I guess, they're willing to sacrifice a few of their own people for the majority. But that is the newest thing out of Tallahassee that's impacting voting rights.
So it's from what you were saying, and I just want to kind of see if you can agree with this right now. It sounds like when you say they're creating a separate, like almost like a separate court, for an example, to deal with this, right?
Not a court, but a separate investigative entity. So basically, there's a separate department that's solely focused on investigating, arresting, and prosecuting folks who have allegedly voted, illegally voted. However, the thing is that to stop election fraud, and it's like, well, that's actually not how that works. If people are voting illegally, but you are giving them cards to vote and saying that they are eligible to vote, then it's a system problem. It is not an enforcement problem.
State Rep, let me ask you this then, right? Why can't, or if any possible way that there can be a lawsuit filed for like using that process as voter intimidation?
I mean, I'm sure that folks like the ACLU and Equal Ground and other folks who do that kind of voting rights work are on it. I know that there's big conversations about it. What will probably happen is when that bill, if it hasn't already been signed into law, that there will probably be a lawsuit that will come, but also they would have to find plaintiffs and find where it has been now been where folks are harmed by this new law. But I mean, I could definitely foresee something like that coming.
Okay, yeah, because that don't seem right. That don't feel right.
None of that feel right. And when I was asking you that question, State Rep, I was thinking about the state of Mississippi, who are creating a separate court to deal with the Jackson, Mississippi issue alone. Just an all white court system, and they voted it into law. And so when you're saying this about it, and it seems like this is a way of scaring voters, because when you're giving people rights, you're having them with a ballot. That's like you said, that's a system issue. But with the intimidation being done, I know personally people who are returning citizens who got their right to vote, who have voted in other elections that chose not to vote this past cycle because of these threats. And so the threat for is real.
The threat of somebody's freedom to get out there and vote on something that's going to affect them seems like injustice. Like it is not that. How did the system? Okay, so I go apply for my voters. Then I send the card to you. I didn't make the card up myself.
I ain't tell y'all to do it with a gun. Now.
So now, just to paint a picture,
But if you ain't
I
get
go
right,
and
you go to jail.
apply. I go and apply for my voter registration.
Right,
you look at it. You approve me. Send me my card in the mail. I didn't send myself in. I just applied. And you know, people get denied when you apply for stuff, but you approve me. And then I go and say, hey, I want to vote on what I want done to me or for me. And then now I have to go back to jail because you approved me for something.
It's like buying. It's like it's like applying for a gun license, and then they give you the gun license and let you go buy the gun, then come back and say, "Hey, you're under arrest." Because you shouldn't have filed for a gun.
It's Indian giving. I'm giving y'all something, then I'm taking it back from y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the crux of it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I always like the 1800s because in the 1800s, black people were in the state reps position and then were told because of their skin complexion and was specifically told to their face we would not be ruled by blacks, and they were kicked out of Congress. And then my grandmama had to march for the right to vote 100 years later. And so I always red flagged that because it seemed like we had the process. We were doing it. And then it was taken away. And I was always like, how do they do this?
Well,
and then they do it just like what they're doing right now.
So think about how they did this, how strategic this was. We went and fought for returning citizens to get their votes, you know, the right to vote, right? And then as soon as they got that, they say, hey, wait, before you get it, you got to pay all your fines. And then we went and said, hey, we got money, we're paying for you. And now they said, wait, hold on. If they not all paid, you can go back to jail.
This big,
Come on,
man.
stop it.
That's why I love state rep, man. I appreciate you being there, man, because it ain't an easy fight. I remember talking to an assistant a few years ago, and I heard how frustrating it was to be up there and really shake hands with people who are asking about your family and then right in your face and going past laws that destroy your community. It's weird.
125%. Oh, there is also, and we just heard it in criminal justice subcommittee where I'm the ranking member. There is a new bail law that would try to prevent folks like a Michael Bloomberg or other people from like paying off people's fines and fees.
There's a law to stop that?
The law kind of would have that unintended consequence. And so when Representative Michael Gottlieb asked this question, because he's also a 30-year criminal defense attorney, he's poignantly asked the question about, well, what about people who, and I can get you the bill number. I don't have it in front of me, but I can get you the bill number. But what about, people, allowing the money to just go wherever? Like if people have having returned, it can go to fines and fees. And I think that was like the little glitch in the bill. And and he specifically asked about people's rights to vote. And he brought in the bill sponsor brought up Michael Bloomberg. So I think that they're trying to, and this is the first bill stop, the first committee stop, so it may get amended. But I think that they're trying to figure out a way to stop organizations like FRCC or Michael Bloomberg or other folks who, to the point that was made earlier, like, their fines and fees left over and there's bail money, or I just need to pay it. Cool. I think that they're trying to do that, but I will keep you posted on that bill, and I'll give you the bill number.
So now you can't spend your money on what you want to spend your money on.
Not when you're helping people. Your philanthropy has a target.
So we have a question. What's going on with SB 102, and what's your thoughts about it?
That's the housing bill. So I have read it. I'm going to reread it. The thing that I know that Senator Ruslan is carrying that bill in the Senate. The one thing that I cannot go for, and he and I will have a conversation, and I'm hopeful that this will be amended out in the process. I can't ever be behind where state government preempts local government from enacting rent control. I will tell you very clearly, in both sides of the district, whether it's St. Petersburg or Tampa, Hillsborough County, I have voters that feel very strongly about that. I believe the voters and the people have made their voices heard. We just have city councils that are unwilling to do the thing and actually do it.
That's right.
And put rent control on either on the ballot or enact it. I cannot go for that. That is something that is completely against everything I stand for. So if that remains in the bill, on that alone, I will not be voting for that bill.
I love to hear you say I can't go for that. no.
So,
no,
so the real problem I think that we have with the housing, is just like you said, there's a lot of city councils that are not putting this issue up for the voters. So big shouts out to I think that was Orange County, Orlando.
Orange County, yeah.
On the ballot. What's the status of that? What's the update as far as the Orlando?
I think that I need to see. I don't know.
Okay.
I need to ask Representative Escamani. I've been following more of what's happening in St. Pete and in Tampa.
Thank you for that.
But I need to ask Representative Escamani and ask her, Representative Harris, and I can get back and give you an answer. But I think for me, it is you're giving cover to developers, you're giving cover to real estate and apartment folks. And my thing is this, like, you can have apartments and you can have development and have rent control. They're not mutually exclusive. They're not. It's just a way to do it. But I will never be comfortable I'm never comfortable preempting local government to begin with, but I will never be comfortable preempting them in this way that is harmful to people, harmful to working people, harmful to my constituents. Like, I might as well tell, I'm going to be like 100% frank. I might as well tell my constituents, if I'm agreeing to this, then y'all don't need to let me. Right? Because I'm going to do what I want to do.
Thank you so much. Listen, thank you so much, because that's the key, because a lot of these laws hurt the voters.
Yeah.
People can't afford to live where they at right now. Rent is too darn high all over the state. And thank you for that real strong stance. And we got to convince the rest of our electeds, right, that's getting behind these bills that hurts us, right? They may have 2 or 3 things that may be good for us, but the lion's share of the bill hurts us. We're not for that bill as the people. And we got to call our representatives and say, hey, y'all, we're not for these bills that hurt us.
Right. When the majority of the bill is hurting us, like I heard somebody say, if you like 80% of it and it's only 20%, then vote yes on the bill. Because you can work on the 20% later on. You're never going to get a bill that's 100% of what we want. But if 80% is good, vote yes.
But see, a lot of these bills be like that. It'll be 80% good, but that 20% is the knife in the back.
Right. But and here's the thing, that 20% for me, when it comes to preempting local government, listen, we could say just pass the bill, let it go. We'll preempt local government. We'll talk about it in 2 pushes. All of us on this call are very intelligent enough to know, as long as there is money in politics, as long as there is a Republican governor, that will be what it is, right? Like that will not be something that we give back to local government. So here's my thing. I can get with the bill if that's out of it, but we don't have, this is why I love the process. This is the process where we have debate, where we have discussion on it. I think it's going to come to my committee, State Affairs, where I'm also the ranking member on that committee, and we're going to have debate about it. And I hope that the people, if they're able to get to Tallahassee, they will make their voice heard about it. I hope that if they're not, they will reach out via email and phone to their respective representatives, because the thing is that these things are happening in Tallahassee. They impact your regular life, and the folks in Tallahassee are hoping that y'all don't know. Which is why I think one of the reasons that y'all know that I do this. I send out emails, I send out mail, I do town halls. I'm in the community. We just did a food insecurity panel at the Collard Green Festival. Like, I'm trying to make sure that people are consistently aware of what is happening in Tallahassee and what is happening and how that this impacts their regular life and impacts how they can take care of their families.
Thank you for all that you do. I want to invite you back. I mean, if you feel there's something we let you use our platform to get the word out. You're a friend of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and we thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you for that. You're a warrior out there in on the hill. We plan to come to the hill. We're coming.
Well, please come, and and let us know. And we will continue to doing more work around the DeSantis' attack on Black folks. And like I've said, this is a people-led movement. I'm a movement lawyer. I was an activist first. Just happened to get elected. So let's keep putting pressure on these people because here's the thing. I think that, Ron DeSantis and Al Sharpton said this, and I thought this was so good. He said, Ron DeSantis, like, he didn't want intersectionality. He didn't want, LGBTQ folks and Black folks and women and Latinos. And now you got us all together. Now you got us all together. Like, the very thing you said you didn't want, we are all there. Because when we had this route, it was everybody. It was women, Latinos, LGBTQ people, Black folks, Black LGBTQ people, Black Latinos. It was everybody. So now that you've started to wake up this giant, and we've got to continue putting pressure on him.
Thank you. Woo.
Thank you. Thank
State
you.
Rep.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks y'all so much. Have a good one.
All
Take
right,
care.
Appreciate you with the jewel dropping,
So we
got
gotta-
always dropping the jewels and keeping us informed in the community, man.
Right.
From the state level, y'all. We got local on lock and we got the state on lock. That means we gotta do what? Change the key.
We gotta ask Qiana, y'all. So how y'all feel?
Go ahead,
You
brother.
ready? Ask Qiana, man.
Okay, ask Qiana. Dear Qiana, if you find out the person you're dating is legally separated and in the process of divorcing, is it okay to continue to date that person? Why? Or why not? Or do you let her go and invite her back next week?
So at this point, if you're already dating, that means there's probably already feelings that's involved. Now, I think you would be probably upset because somebody made the choice for you.
Oh, so okay, you read into it. So the person didn't tell, all right, because they find out, right?
They found out.
Keyword.
So yeah. So I mean, at this point, when you're dealing with the matters of the heart, it's not a switch that you cut in and cut off, cut on and cut off, right? And so when you've already invested in something, and then it's hard to walk away at that point. I think that people, it's really hard to walk away. And in the real world, you want to say, hey, be divorced before you move and date someone else. But in this world, a lot of people separate for years and never get a divorce, and they're out there dating. You see this for years. Divorce, it's easy to get married, hard to get out of it. So I mean, I'm kind of. I mean, it really
That's why you
is.
ask Qiana.
But it's a you know what I mean? It's a moral thing.
No, but it's real.
It's a moral thing if you do it because
But everybody ain't on that.
everybody's not on that. Once you're separated from somebody and
That's
they
it.
no longer living there and they're no and so the thing is, I will tell you this, people who typically don't get a divorce and depending on how long they've been separated, they go back to their spouses.
Wait, what?
They go back to their
Say that
spouses.
one more time.
Depending on how long they've been separated, they typically go back to their spouses.
Oh.
They do.
Okay.
In the
Teach me
beginning.
how to do it.
Okay.
No,
I mean that is that
for
is a real deal situation that people going through right now. So
What do
think
y'all
that's good
think?
information.
What do you think?
I mean, separate. I mean, but under people's religious beliefs, they feel how God looking at them, and so they gotta wait till they get divorced. Some people ain't necessarily tied to those religious beliefs, and they do their thing while they still married. Talking about divorce and separated. What are you talking about? People getting jiggy forever.
They is.
They are.
They are.
What you think, Reno?
I mean, at the end of the day, man, when you're saying they found out, so it's like they keep it something from you. I mean, but what do they keep it? The thing that they keep it from you is like when I find out that you keeping that from me, it's like, I guess. You know what I mean? Because it's something
I
that you
heard
was
that, yeah.
it's like something you trying to just take care of and try
Yeah.
not to make
Make
it
it
be
issue.
anything.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? And by you not making it anything, when I find out about it, what is it? Oh,
So I can say from experience, I've been there.
There it is. There it is. Hit it with the
real
real talk.
So what happened? Tell me. I want to know.
Tell all of us.
All the listeners over there, Facebook, Instagram.
It's just me, you, and Prano.
Facebook, Instagram, all over the FM dial.
The bird.
No, honestly, I dated someone, and then, so he did not. I knew that he had a child, right? But I didn't know that him and his child's mother was married.
So they separated, or they were divorced?
They were separated, you know, and then we had been dating for months before I found out.
Listen, I want to know. Was he still living with her? Was
No,
they still
I
living in
knew
the same home?
No, they wasn't living in the same home.
Okay, then.
So you know
that,
what?
that feels a
So
little bad.
it did. So I mean, I know they wasn't together.
Right over here talking some tell me.
Come in the camera now, man.
But no, I knew they wasn't together because we spent a lot of time together. Like we definitely was in a real relationship. But I was very hurt when I found out. One, he didn't tell me. Somebody went to his brother's party. I wanted like his brother is somebody. It was a famous football player, and was like, and was just like, hey, oh, I know your brother. He's dating Qiana, and then you're like, wait, hold on, he married, you know? And then she called me and told me, and then and we had.
Oh, they was dropping salt. I don't know why you messed that up. It was just dropping salt.
I'm going to tell you now. This is the
It was
thing.
just salt and pepper.
No. So this is the thing is so I was really hurt. I didn't leave.
Okay.
I did.
But it hurt the relationship.
It did hurt the relationship. And then what happened is, in the scheme of things, like we were doing like all the legal stuff to get the divorce. And
you was helping them get divorced?
At this point, I mean,
you put the gloves on. I'm going in.
Oh,
no, I always tell. This is what I always tell people: when you're dating, like if I'm invested, I'm invested.
No,
you get a partner. I'm a partner.
Listen.
I'm not just your girlfriend. I'm not just your lady. I'm definitely your partner. I say this all the time.
Swiss Army knife.
Good man. Tell me the good line, boss.
But I will tell you this: it did flip on me because, like, at one point he was like, "I need to go back home." His daughter got sick, and he felt guilty. And then my thing is, how can I tell you not to go back to your wife? That is your wife.
This is
Did y'all see that
it's getting kind of heavy.
Did you see the Freddie Paul when he say that?
It's getting kind of heavy.
I don't know what to say.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. Hey, you don't fuck me over there. Hey, I got a lot to say, right? A lot of things, right? Hey, but sometimes, man, hey, man, a lot of times, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
And so, you know, and then but I did tell him this is that, you know, you're going back for the same reason why you got married and it won't work. And he got married because she got pregnant. And then he went back because of the child.
She put an Qiana on that church.
No, I know he said
she put an Qiana on that church. Hey, he couldn't do that. He just was in his feelings. In the chair.
And I will say this, but I will tell you this is that I let him go, and then he's divorced now.
Of course.
And you don't want him back?
No.
You was right.
I was right.
To you.
I mean, it did, and I mean,
time on his issue. You know what I'm saying? So it might have been the time then, but like
these gray hairs, all these gray hairs on his.
No. But you know what? We did a tango for a little while, like you know, but it didn't.
I like how you put that tango.
Yeah, we did.
That tango.
Me, man.
But like, dude, if you like experiences
right,
and show you the things that you don't want to do. And okay, read some of the comments then.
Oh, we got comments?
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, hold on. No, ain't no real comments. Go ahead.
Oh no. Listen here, man. I'm in the back room. Man.
Oh. Yeah, taking the producer telling us what to do.
Okay.
And we gotta talk about it over there.
Oh.
You gotta laugh on that.
Yeah, now we gotta laugh on. Okay.
Hey, but listen, y'all did
Oh,
serious.
so
Ask
kids
him.
say we went through it too, and I tapped out because he didn't give me the option to choose.
Huh?
Yeah, she tapped out. Once she found out, she was like, "Yeah," because honestly, and that's where my hurt came from. Like, dang, you didn't trust me enough to make a decision. But then his rebuttal was with me because the first thing I told him is that I don't date like married women. I'm doing the whole spiel.
Yeah, but I'm saying like,
Cause
that's
you
hard.
That's hard to say.
If we in divorce court right now, I know technically, you know what I'm saying. Like, but like, you still call it a married man?
It's not.
So, man, I'm gonna tell you, I still stood beside him. Right? You still took the choice from me because I was already in love with you. You know what I mean?
The choice took it from you because he didn't tell you.
Right.
So that's what. So you do think that me and such and such is in divorce court. You're saying that
it's not
dealing with me in divorce court is you still dealing with him. And I know technically you're still a married man, but
so here we go.
Divorce court?
No. So here we go. You didn't trust our connection enough.
But he didn't know yet.
No. You didn't trust our connection.
How you know?
Again, we're months in. And I had to find out with somebody else. Once you
Now
knew
that's cold-blooded,
no,
man.
you know somebody
That's
else.
cold-blooded. Found out. That's cold-blooded. You know?
Found out.
Now that's cold-blooded.
Hey, I told him to tell you. I ain't know how to tell you. I told him to tell you.
But I will tell you, any relationship that build on a foundation of lies will not stand
hold on.
the test of time.
We got a couple more comments, so I'm just gonna read through them, y'all, and y'all
Go ahead.
take it in. If they want to get legally separated, then they aren't together, right?
Right.
Then
See, hold on.
Legally separated is the key word, right? That's Sandra. And then
that's it.
Okay, that's it. So, I mean, but you don't have to. This is what I'm saying. If the man don't know how to tell you, what about that?
You know, I say everything else.
Right.
Yeah, you can't fall for that one because you don't want her to use that on you.
No.
It ain't ask Leo.
I just said, but you want me to tell you our foundation? I'm big on making a solid foundation, and if I don't have all the pieces to them, how can
all he had to tell you is that he didn't know how you would take it. You would have took that better.
If he
those words would have took better. Than
if he would have said, "Hey, Qiana, you know, such and such is not just my child's mother, it's my wife, but we're separated and I'm going through a divorce," then we've been a whole other conversation.
When you say you in the court process of going through something like, hey, you ain't able to do this. I understand that people make promises all I'm gonna leave my husband, I'm gonna leave my wife. I understand that. But people in court, that's different.
But I'm
to
going
me,
to tell you.
But what if they're not in court? What if
I'm
it's
going
just
to tell you
separation?
why I probably would have stayed is because I knew they wasn't together. I probably would have still stayed because we spent so much time together. You know.
Hold on. What if he introduced this to you in the first quarter and you had not spent so much time together?
Kiss just dropped the real
Okay, go ahead.
Kiss says, "Who wants a man that can't communicate, especially when it comes to telling his story? Move around."
No, I'm not.
Move around, man. Quit playing, man.
And I'm going to tell you. No, so this is like 20 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
This is way younger.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, but
the story is 20 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what happened is he eventually went back and forth in between us.
Oh,
I mean, as
you know what?
As you should. Because if they let it happen, I mean, you don't stop them. They let it happen.
But you know what happened is, again, this is why, like, when you look at it is very toxic, and this is why you need to vet properly when you're dating someone, and that you don't hurry up and make commitments.
Hold on, we love toxic.
Yeah, we love toxic, man. That's toxic.
I want to let you finish. I just want to let you go ahead. I want to let you finish this thought process right here.
Next, Ask Qiana on Wednesday is going to be, why do we love toxic?
No, actually, you won't say it.
You want to know why we love
We all
toxic? Because it's exciting.
Hey, what else? I don't love toxic.
No. Toxicity. Look at
your whole body.
That toxic gets you loose. I get you loose anymore. But no,
everybody so like say it wasn't targeted to Q, LOL. It was a general statement. I think it was. I think it was a general statement, and I'm definitely in agreeing with you. Kiss with that.
Yeah, move around.
Yeah, but I think any relationship, when you're looking at building something, needs with truth, and the hard conversations that you avoid having are the ones that you need to. Are the most important. It's the most important conversations that you have that you need to have.
Which one?
The ones that you avoid having are the most important conversations that you need to have, because those are the ones that affect you the most.
What if people gotta have a conversation? What if you go to acting like you're dead and try to put hands on you when you have a conversation?
I mean, you gotta back up off of it and sit your cup down. Like I was saying, man, you gotta back away, man. I mean, because at the end of the day, when somebody want to swing, then you gotta let them swing. You just gotta make sure you push away.
Go talk to a professional.
Yeah, man.
I'm going into the
Hey,
stadium.
if they swing, then order on Amazon some tape for their hands because they want to be boxers.
Okay, whoa, this is a big one, y'all. This is Sandra Davis. The process of someone difficulty isn't easy to communicate to someone he dating, because remember, he just going through a major ordeal / marriage. So legally separated was enough for him to move on and probably discuss the situation after the divorce is finalized. Hey, Sandra, see, that's what I'm talking about. Talk about it.
So I see where Chandra, I see where Chandra is coming from with this, right? Sharonda, but I'm disagreeing only because if you're trying to build a foundation with somebody else, how are you going to leave out that process? What I can see if they were already divorced.
It's just something.
But no, you have me invested into you, right?
And the thing is, though, I'm all in on you. We been vibing for a few minutes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to take care of something that I really want to talk about that much, you know what I'm saying? You know about the situation for us. Hold on.
I didn't know anything about it. We didn't know anything about it.
Found out.
That's
we've been
rocking for a minute, and you ain't even know about the person even existing on the planet.
I knew, but I just knew that it was just his child's mother. Like, it's just like this. I had a baby from her. It's different than I was married to her.
I don't see the difference.
I do.
No.
Okay. No. I mean, here you go. Legally, let's think about this. If something happened to him, I show up at the hospital and be like, the wife show up at the hospital.
Legally, the girlfriend is out.
I see why they like listening to this show. Boy, y'all tell me, boy. This is some interesting stuff right here, man. This is stuff that we really good. I see why they like listening. I'm watching the show right now. And I'm like, wow, this is good conversation.
No, it is. It's really something that we deal with.
It's real.
It's real. Shout out to the Ask Qiana questionnaire. If you have an Ask Qiana question,
hey man,
you can leave it in the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club inbox anonymously. We don't tell people who gives us.
No, we do not.
We don't. We ain't start off by saying that Sean Soprano wrote this one. No, we ain't do that.
Yeah, but if you want somebody to know,
he don't write them.
I just want some guilty stuff like that.
Because that's not guilty.
Nobody said
he never writes one of them. That's not a guilty thing.
Why you gonna say that?
It's a guilty thing if you actually did it. You don't write Ask You.
You don't.
I don't.
So I can say that.
Y'all.
You don't. I will say this: if you really like this Ask Qiana segment, show up and he say she say.
Yes.
Every first Friday.
The first Friday.
So it'll be March 3rd.
Yes.
Right at Urban Drink from 7 to 11. And you know what? I'm looking for me a co-host. I don't know who the co-host is going to be in March.
Who they gonna be? Okay,
I don't know. I don't know.
Chris Brown. Did y'all see Chris Brown rant about how he got crucified for his toxic relationship? Now folks basically love seeing Blueface get beat up weekly by Blueface girlfriend, right? What's her name? I can't think of her name.
I don't know these people, but I read that.
Yeah, this is the girl deadlift like 300 pounds.
She not.
Listen, she deadlift 300 pounds.
Oh no.
Listen, and then Blueface tried to do it. He was just shaking like a goddamn. I said, yeah, boy, that boy got on his hand.
Oh, Qiana ain't no joke. Like she fight everybody.
They might need to go talk to counseling, but they got to make sure they got to make sure we get money off of
when you have a female that put her hands on a man, then she is the direct equivalent of a man who does the same thing.
She's the woman king.
And that's not. No, she's not. So she's not.
I just watched Woman King last night
because everybody was talking about it. Hey, Qiana is the new woman king.
God, y'all.
Like you said,
y'all gotta start making your own movies. Y'all gotta realize that these movies ain't it, man. But anywho, like I was saying.
So wait, Sharonda say that you're dating. Dating is not in a relationship. Well, I was in a relationship. So I
won't understand dating though.
So let me tell you,
I won't understand dating.
But in dating, are you privy to my business?
Yes,
yes
because dating is you showing me that we want to be a part of one another's lives. One of the things I want from dating is mass communication.
That's how you build.
I want mass communication. As much as I talk, I promise you, I know how to communicate very well, and I know how to listen just as well. You know what I'm saying?
But at what point do you get the business though? Right.
So when you I'm gonna tell you. So here you go. We're gonna have to get out of here in a second because it's almost 9.
Look, 20 minutes on Ask Qiana.
Yeah, but okay. So here you go with the dating. Once your first date is like kind of, it's surface level, kind of. And to just see if y'all vibe good.
So you don't get the business.
Right. But once we're into multiple dates and we're realizing this is a little bit more consistent, and then now
start your process.
Right. You need to start. Yes, these are things
when you get application.
No, when
that's
you
it. You put your information on it.
I make a Google form. I'm sure
but it is communication. And so I'm like, once you decide that like I'm somebody you really want in your life. Then
that's me telling the business.
Yeah, you need to start telling stuff that affects my life because I'm going to be a part of your life.
That's real.
Now listen, Ask Qiana is a segment brought to you by the Community Development and Training Center,
aka CJ.
And if you gotta Ask Qiana, put it in the inbox.
Yes. Okay. So we've enjoyed today's episode of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. What's your final thought? Pensacola.
My final thought.
Are you ready?
You might do that every time.
Just chill.
Okay,
go ahead.
I say Mr. Edmonds.
Okay, nobody say that. Okay.
Hey, I don't mind it being rough on my head. Shine bright like a diamond, baby.
Because Tony Soprano never shows up. He's always Mr. Edmonds.
Listen, I told him yesterday Shawty Soprano was coming out the edges, right? But I kept it in, right? Mr. Edmond is like I'm like that substitute teacher that used to come in. Yeah.
But see, you flip back and forth. Reno show up in Pensacola. So I don't know which one I'm talking to. Right, go ahead.
No, that's right.
He actually do all this on the IQ. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, for the listeners out there, man, do me a favor. Holla at one of your favorite aunties this week. You know what I'm saying? If you got an auntie out there still breathing, holla at one of your favorite aunties. You know what I'm saying? My auntie Bit Mom used to be one, rest her spirit, who took us to see Rambo Colors. You know what I'm saying? She took us to see the movie. You know what I mean? But if you got an auntie that did that same thing for you in childhood, man, holla at her this week. She might be a grocery store run or something. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay family orientated and let's stay on top of what thing? Our family.
I love it. I talk to my aunties every day.
Listen, my auntie Betty was the one taking us to go see those inappropriate movies. Okay. It shots out my auntie Betty, man. I mean, aunties, that's like when your aunties and your uncles really meant something.
Man, they mama and sisters, man.
Nowadays, the aunties and uncles, they be almost like third cousins. Oh, that's your uncle. Go speak to your uncle. I don't know that your uncle.
That's it. Well, you know what? I'm so glad that I know my aunties.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I will say, but you know what? I'm going to take that because I don't talk to my aunties on my dad's side.
See, that's the third cousin. That's the third cousin.
I know, no. I know who they are.
But you're still a third cousin. You know your third cousin is. Oh, they're your cousin. Ain't my cousin. You almost don't claim them right in the life.
I'm going to take your challenge. I'm going to go and
call you.
I'm going to call my auntie Diane.
I take the challenge too. I'll call a couple of my aunties or reach out on Facebook. Big shots out to my aunties. They be looking out. I gotta love them.
Yeah, I do too. I really do.
I love them too.
We really do got good families. Okay, so
I'm a real auntie.
Hey,
Yeah.
look at the prompt. Look at the prompt.
Okay, so here you go. Final thoughts. So tonight, if you get a chance, tune in to St. Pete Funny podcast. Tonight streaming.
Yes, streaming. Big shouts out to James Davis.
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
big
you
things,
know
not
that.
only comedy, but also podcast shows. Love it.
With Miami legend comedian Larry Dog.
Oh,
right?
Larry Dog.
Right. So yeah, so tune in to them. I want to say be the change that you want to be. Y'all know I'm gonna tell y'all to write down the 5 things because they are very, very important to your happiness and good health because we let those bad thoughts control us and then it festers and it mess up our houses and then we need to sage ourselves at our home.
Hey man, kids must have been on like a little Facebook vacation or something. Man. I do miss you, cousin, man. Love you very much up there in the A, man.
Big love.
So,
we need to come to the A. Kids, set it up.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
In Atlanta.
Yes.
Hey, sis, you here too, man.
Set it up.
Brunch
Yeah,
spot.
man.
I don't care. Set it up. Hey, you here too, man. Quit playing, man. That's my sister up there, man.
All right. Okay. So here, this is Qiana.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmonds.
This is the brother of Letitia Edmonds, man.
No, what? Who?
See, he don't like that. See, in the family. I'm out. I'm out.
Did you say? And this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. You have a wonderful day.